folks, I guess this is it. So we start the way we start. Folks, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. Yep, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansakwa IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasan. Welcome to another edition of the show I call That's My Opinion. Folks, one of these days we are going to have a live section. It would be nice to have a That's My Opinion in a nice auditorium live, so we all get to meet, particularly the silent listeners who are always tuned in. You get to sit in the hall, and probably will be longer than an hour, and we can jojo and pour out our concerns. Who knows what will come out of it? An opinion fraternity. But we thank God for another Monday. We thank God for another opinion. And here we are again. Let me welcome you once again to That's My Opinion. One more minister, please. Ghana could do with one more minister, and I am pushing for just that one more minister. Now, before you kill me, before you tune off out of rage and anger, I've been with you for 6 years, week in, week out, and I don't usually let you down. I mean, come on, I'm human, so every now and then I let you down. But this is not going to be one of the let down shows, So bear with me. Bear with me. But with all conviction in me, I strongly feel we can do with one more minister. 141 is the current number, and I'm told by far we are probably the world leading, or among the world leaders in ministerial positions. Now, this was one of our first shockers when this government came into power, but we braved the storm. Complained for the proverbial 2 weeks, and then we gave up, and we live with all our ministers happily ever after. Well, happily ever until the time is up for them to go. We live side by side. They blow their sirens and kick us off the road, but hey, we still brave it. Now, the cost of maintaining this size of government has been a cause for concern for many governance experts, including, us who don't have any expertise in governance. But after all, it's just simple math. If you add the pegs and multiply it by the numbers, you don't need any expert to tell you that we should trim down the government or the size of the government. So with all the noise and the worry and the agitations to trim down size of government, here we are, another beautiful Monday evening, and the loudmouth chief of Edumasa comes on and says, oh no, I'm here proposing that we could do with one more minister. Somebody will say, won't this man just go into this village and just rule and stop disturbing our ears? But hey, you have me. Just like with the ministers, you have to live side by side. Folks, the first question most of you will ask is that, what at all would this other minister do that the multitude of ministers already in the system cannot do? And no, it's not a minister for jailing corrupt officials. That wouldn't be bad though, but it's not that. Somebody sent a message, says a minister for common sense. That's, close enough. That's close enough. So it's not a minister for jailing corrupt officials, even though it wouldn't be bad. Folks, apart from, staking a lotto or gambling and waiting to see if your numbers or whatever it is that you staked will drop in life and country management, things cannot and must not be left to chance. Things cannot and must not left to chance, which means there should be a plan. If there's a plan, it means people should be in on the plan, because the plan on its own is not going to work. People have to execute that plan. So for those of you who are regular listeners, we did an opinion piece where I said that Africa needs its own ratios. Now what I said was that, the world standards, how many citizens to a policeman, how many patients to a doctor, even how many kilometers of road per population. If we take, let's say, police, and it's believed that the ideal number is for every 500 citizens, you should have one policeman. But this is when, folks, 498 out of the 500 citizens are abiding by the law. In the jurisdictions who sit down and come up with these numbers, 500 to 1, 498 of these 500 are abiding by the rules. They're sticking by the rules. They're doing everything by the book. Indeed, sometimes when you overlook something, they point it out to you that, excuse me, you overlooked this, I need to pay an extra. And so the policeman is left with two odd ones, because in every society there is an odd one. So the policeman is left with two odd ones that he or she has to monitor. If you bring the same rules down here, where you're saying that one policeman should look after 500 citizens, folks, 498 of the citizens here are breaking the rule, including the policemen, including sometimes the lawmakers themselves. The MP who's making the same laws that, sitting in there making the laws is breaking the law. And so here you have one policeman who has to police 498 people, and probably the two odd ones who abide by the rules. So I'm saying that the world standards don't normally apply to us. It doesn't work with us. We absolutely make nonsense of these ratios. So here we are with many, many policies, folks. This country is the first to sign on to any treaty and come up with policies and some of the beautiful laws and ideas seen anywhere in the world. But who is buying into them? Who is buying into them? Child protection, safety laws, road traffic laws, building regulation laws, town planning laws, name it. And we have the finest. But you ask yourself, who is buying into them? Folks, I am associated with Imperial Homes Ghana. And we set up a high-tech block factory at Ewutu Senya, George Anders territory. The MP there, he was excited. He brought us 15 guys, obviously guys who probably have been bothering him, honorable, give me money, honorable, give me money. So he brought 15 guys to be trained. The next day, 3 turned up to work. So the manager was calling the rest to find out, their whereabouts. The first guy says, "Na, what is the work every day?" The other guy says, "You guys say you're going to pay us monthly." Another guy says, "Look, me charge us as what I say." They speak Fanti. I'm not good at Fanti. Me charge what I said. My charger's broken. Somebody's bringing me a charger. If he comes early, I'll turn up. If he doesn't, I won't turn up. Folks, I am proposing that we need a minister for national orientation. A minister for national orientation, whose office will probably be linked closely to NCCE. But that's a matter of urgency. Because, folks, the cost to us, if we were to calculate what we are paying due to the sheer number of ignorant people or citizens, I'm telling you, all we hear today is there are no jobs. There are no jobs. We want jobs. Folks, have we ever paused, bothered to ask, which jobs are you looking for? Because how many people can be recruited into the police? How many people can be recruited into immigration? How many can they hire? How many can go to national security, and how many can be at the ports? So which jobs are we talking about? Which jobs are people looking for? If we don't start a revolution of changing our mindset, most of the things we are doing will just remain on paper. And this should be done in a way with which is not going to be tinted with our usual politics. It should be done in a way that it doesn't get tinted with our usual politics, because we are paying too much. Folks, how is it that we are here with no jobs, but we are employing people from all over the world and keeping them in jobs, doing overtime? Because everything that we import, we have to keep somebody in a job somewhere. Folks, the minister in his or her office should let us deliberately and consciously think Ghana first. That's what one of the things the office should do. Deliberately and cautiously, hypnotize, poison, caution, trick us, whatever it is. Think Ghana first. Folks, this office should make sure that work ethics are instilled in us. This office should make sure that this archaic superstition of believing that you can sleep and everything will be done by God, this office should come and tell us that, listen, God has already done it, so get up and go and get it. That's the mandate of the office. Can't be sleeping and pray for me. Get up and go and do it. Folks, one of the things which this office should do, which is very, very important, but this office should make it clear, absolutely clear, that when we say Ghanaian, what comes to mind when they say Ghana? What will come to mind when they say Ghana? And above all, if they fail in everything in their office, they should let us know what the Ghanaian morals are. Because every group, every society must have some morals that they build upon. You cannot build upon air or build upon somebody's morals because, the Australians believe in this, so I'm also going to believe in that. It doesn't work. I'm not saying somebody's is right or wrong, but whatever our morals is, there should be some revolution. And I'm saying that we should hire some ombudsman, somebody somewhere, I don't know, who's an expert. So that, they go to churches, the mosques, the schools, the market, and start as a matter of urgency, psyching ourselves up. Because it all begins and it all ends in the mind. And if our minds are this open, whereas today, number one, we don't even know who a Ghanaian citizen is. We don't know what the Ghanaian values or morals are. When we say Ghana, what even comes to mind, and what do we sell or brand as Ghana? Because this hospitality thing is not washing anymore, because now we know that the hospitality thing is just letting people take advantage of us. That's what we mean. When we say Ghanaian hospitality, it means you are there, you have a good resource, some ninkompo from somewhere will come, dissipate it and go and say, oh yes, we are very hospitable. So that thing is not washing anymore. So we need a minister for national orientation. And you can give me the ideas. I'm not in the law. You can give me the ideas. Maybe we can set it up like the special prosecutor, where he transcends between parties, so that whatever he says will not be linked to this party or that party. I don't know how, but if we don't start, folks, if we don't start a major revolution of how we think, then we are leaving people at the mercy of crooked pastors, leaving people at the mercy of, get rich quick, everybody has this. I don't know where we go, because we haven't got any morals, we haven't got any foundation that we are building upon. To the point that when we say Ghana, we don't even know what to think of. First, we used to say hospitality, Akwaba. It's a lady wearing kente up and down with a calabash in her pocket saying Akwaba. Today, what is the worth of that? What is the worth of that? We have been so hospitable. The Chinese have come, chopped our rosewood, messed up our waters, and they are going and we're sitting there and say we are hospitable. We sign contracts that will make you think, listen, did you actually read the contract? Did you even see it, or you just scanned your signature and send it to them and they put it on the contract? So we need to have an orientation revolution. We must. You see, because there's a critical few. There's a critical few who seem to want to do the right thing. There's a great majority who have been denied the opportunity of even knowing what is right and wrong. It's not that they are naturally born evil or something, but they haven't even been given the opportunity. And then obviously you have the old bad nuts who you get everywhere. But if you compare the few bad nuts to the great majority who have been denied opportunity, and so what we do is we have divided the country into two. Those who are rich and those who can afford it will build walls and put guard dogs in it and put barbed wires around it, buy their four-wheel drives if the road is not good, and sink a borehole if the water is not running. And so we are dividing the country into two because we can't be bothered to bring them aboard. So that's why I say that if we have a minister who would gradually change our mindsets from the youth trying to run into the police instead of getting a skill and getting on their own, because believe you me, once somebody is killed and doing their own job, the chances of them getting up in the night to go and steal reduces. The chances of them building high walls and putting barbed wires and feeding dogs also reduces. And guess what? If the Minister for Orientation is really, really successful, and so we have a switched on generation, it may be even difficult for somebody to come and tell you that, listen, I am hiring 140 ministers and that you're going to pay for it. It may be difficult because we will all be switched on and say, hey, hold on, don't you even go there. So that if this minister is successful, this one minister, if he's really successful, maybe we won't even get that size of government, because we would have a switched on generation who won't just sit down for you to walk on them because they are hospitable. And so yes, I know 140 is too much, but let's drop one more in the ocean. And this drop is the one that's going to tell us that, listen, there's no such thing as free. You cannot live on free. You contribute. And any free comes with huge responsibilities. This minister is going to teach us that anything that is free, that is giving you free, you who are receiving that free must come on board with a lot of responsibilities too. You can't just have it free and go home and sleep. The minister would have to teach us who we are. What does it mean if you're a citizen? Yes, the state must protect you, but what do you also give to the state? In that case, folks, I think the pressure will come down. This phantom division where we are living with the haves on the right and the have-nots on the left would reduce. There's always going to be haves and have-nots, but it will reduce, and it has to reduce, because at the moment the gap is widening. At the moment the gap is widening, and ignorance is playing a major role in the destruction of this nation, and it is costing us too much. This minister could teach people that, listen, quality birth is better than quantity birth. It will be in his office to let somebody know that, listen, nice 3 boys, 3 girls, you are fine. There's no need having 8 or 10 when you can't even buy 3 balls of kenke a day. What sense is in that? That God will come and look after them from where? From where is God going to come and boil you a kenke to feed your children? This minister will teach us to think. Somebody said a minister for common sense. This minister will teach us that common sense is mandatory and demanded of every citizen. And we should be happy, even if if this minister will drive in 6 V8s, let him drive in it, so far as he brings this orientation to bear. Because eventually, we are all going to save. Folks, eventually, we are all going to save. Where the citizen would wake up and know his responsibility and his role, so that we don't need to be, everyone wouldn't need to be police. We will police ourselves. The police will then be left with a few bad nuts in there, and generally we'll have a safer country. I don't think it's idealistic. Folks, I don't think it's idealistic. I think it's a responsibility on the nation, on you and I. It's a responsibility on you and I, that the generation that comes after us will bequeath to them some sanity of a nation. We can't leave this manual and as it is free for all, and then leave it for our grandchildren and go. So here I am proposing that Ghana could do with one more minister. Don't shoot me. 0302216541. But Kofi is my first caller. Hello, Kofi.
Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Yes, you have said it all. I just want to nail the message by saying that we should capture children from the KG down to the upper primary level, and imbue them with this spirit of patriotism. Number 2, ministers ride V8 cars and all that without Ghana flag flying on them. It's a shame. I think that this orientation should start from somewhere, and I propose that we should embark on a very aggressive education. Perhaps let me end it by saying that I'm proposing that we select necropolitan chief executive. I say necropolitan, not metropolitan, necropolitan. This chief executive should be in charge of monitoring the roads on which we travel to avoid needless accidents and all that. I'm calling from Sogakope. If you see what happens on Sogakope Bridge, you'll be amazed. God bless Ghana.
God bless you too. And I drove past Sogakope this Saturday. Kwe is on the line. Hello, Kwe.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. But, Nana, what you are saying, I concord with you. It's a good idea. But I am suggesting something. I remember the former president who just passed on, Libya, I think Mohammed Gaddafi. I heard that he was having a strategy as to how to rule the people in Libya. And I don't know, but I believe it was true that if a person comes from this place, as in this house, the person, let me say, the number of houses within Libya are 20. We need to bring one male who is going to be employed to the police, so that in terms of security, each and everyone will serve as a watchdog over the other. So I believe if this minister that you are referring to is being allowed to operate, and we apply this initiative, I believe unemployment and all these criminal activities will lessen, and then we will have our peace of mind in this country.
Thank you very much, my brother. But Kofi is in Tema. Let me speak to Kofi. Hello, Kofi.
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I was listening to your take tonight, and I think that we had a minister for orientation during Kufuor's regime,
in the person of this lady, the Minister for Communication now. But I am of the view that the rightful person to do this job should not be a minister. And in fact, the Constitution clearly states it is the job of NCCE. Kindly check their details and what they are supposed to do. They only comment on when there are national issues. And yet, they have directors in all the regions and all the districts. And that is what they are supposed to do. They are supposed to orient citizens on their civic responsibility and instill some morals into the citizenry. So that is their primary role.
Thank you very much, NCC. Their primary role, I'm sure if they were to get some primary cash, they would do something. So let's maybe fight on their cause so that they could get some cash to do some work, because the whole country, I think they have like 5 or 8 vans. Can you imagine? 5 or 8 vans. Such an important institution. But Chris is on the line. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. So I kind of agree with you. Just that I personally don't think we need a minister for this. Because in the very first sense, who we can trust to administer this may even be a problem in a sense. But I think we need a reorientation which should start from our little kids. We need to find a way to instill in them national pride, sense of patriotism, and good values. We need to change our attitude, and we'll have to give ourselves some time. So over a period of time, we have to allow ourselves to think of what we can do for our nation, how we can give back to the community, as against what we can get and what we can take. And maybe we would have to change our educational system, our books, the kind of books we read, and what we are feeding them. It's a whole programming thing. If we entrust this thing into one person, I doubt it will yield the result, and then it will end up being the same corrupt thing. But over time, when the young ones are growing with this mindset of not necessarily thinking about money, wealth, amassing wealth, short-termism, I think we'll get somewhere.
I thank you for calling. I thank you so much for calling. Raphael is on the phone. Hello, Raphael.
Hello, Nana Nsakwa.
Yes, boss.
Nana Michiao Majo. Nana, so your topic this evening is very interesting. It brings to mind how our democracy should have been. As Ghanaians, we are a unique people. We had our own way of organizing our people. You have family heads who organize family members. They have their own way of disciplining them. Then you have chiefs that organize villages and towns. I think that political leadership will always fail us when it comes to organizing our people in our localities. But the chiefs are best at organizing our people morally and by custom. And by custom education and cultural education from the chiefs, the people are bound to be disciplined. Until okay, those times when the chiefs had to sanction people, the chiefs had the powers, to call people, summon people, and punish them or sanction them. There was discipline. But now we have left it to only political leadership, which you can understand do not have the will and the discipline to do it the way the chiefs would have done it. So I think that is one way to look at this. We are losing our customs, and our customs made us better in organizing the people.
For calling me. Good evening, Anna. I think we seriously need this minister to educate citizens of their rights and responsibilities. This will also help Ghanaians to appreciate their country and its values. Please, the education must start from age 3 above. Thank you. Kesewa from Kolebuba. Samson is on the line. Hello, Samson.
Hello, Nana. And I appreciate your Royal Highness. I 100% agree with your submission. And I would like to hold that position as the Minister of...
Don't worry, we'll select you. Honorable Samson as the Minister of National Orientation. Wisdom is in Winnipeg. Hello, Wisdom.
Hello, Wisdom. Nana.
Yes, boss.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And now this wisdom, speaking from.
Hello? Yeah, let me hear you.
And all your topics are on point. Despite there will be, some people against it or, for. But, Nana, to assure you, we have to, put people's mind on, the right path. What is about Ghanaians? We have to know that. As you said, you had job, you call people, they are telling you they have to go and charge. Is they charging your charger more than your work? I get people, I'm a painter, I get people and I call them. People will come and talk to people who give me work anyhow. You see, the next time, will you get work to do? No. So the mindset of Ghanaians, has to be polished. Thank you for your show. God bless you.
Thank you too, my brother. This is Stone from Koforidua. I teach in one of the SHs in this country. And Nana, it will interest you to know that the sheer boom in enrollment has brought so much pressure on teachers that we have even lowered the standards of the end of semester questions we are made to set. Nothing free is really valued. Nana, the earlier we wake up, the better for us. Do have a good evening. Go have a good evening too. Salifu is in Cove City. Let me talk to Salifu. Hello, my brother.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
I am good.
Oh, we thank you for a new month and we thank you for new discussion.
Thank you.
Nana, I guess your JoyFM 6 o'clock news that Joy is going to embark on a clean Ghana campaign. Meanwhile, we have a minister in charge of sanitation. We have spent so much on that minister and his ministry. What is he doing? What is he doing? In the various assemblies, the assemblymen, what are they doing in their communities? What is wrong with us? Now, every radio station is doing what elected government ministers these assemblies are supposed to do. And now it will only have to take radio stations to make sure things are getting well for Ghana. What is wrong? It takes media people to make sure that there is proper security. There is safety in our banking. It takes media people. So why do we have those people? Nana, we thank you very much. Because we have the issues. Because you are a chief, you are a respected chief. And we respect you. Bring the issues. If they will listen, they should listen. Thank you, Nana.
I thank you too so much for calling, and I appreciate so much. But I'm going to North Kaneshi because Kwame is waiting. Hello, Kwame.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Yeah, I want to disagree a little bit. We already have the National Commission for Civic Education.
Sure.
They themselves can be reorientated, and they will come up with programs for little children from crèche growing up, every level of our education system, to inculcate into them all these disciplines, so that they don't even throw piece of paper on the road or defecate or, excuse me to say, urinate on the roadside, and how to handle the national currency, the cedi notes. All these things should be graded. And then for those of us who are, excuse me to we have reached a certain stage, maybe we can get a forum or even call some of these, those well-endowed churches to have these things, so that even before a sermon, we spend about 2 or 3 minutes to reorientate the people. I think it will be better than creating another ministry, because there are too many. Thank you, Nana.
I thank you too for calling. This one says there is heavy traffic at Ewutubreku in the central region. Major roads on the major road due to celebration of the festival. The road is blocked and we have been in traffic for almost 2 hours now. National orientation there. We need it. Quay is on the line. Hello, Quay.
Hi, good evening, Nana. How are you today?
I'm good, brother.
Wonderful. I completely agree with all your submissions. They are quite remarkable. But something needs to happen before this orientation. In a country where right or wrong depends on which side of the political divide you sit on. How are we going to reorient ourselves? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our leaders, somebody does wrong. The person is cleared because of where he sits on the political in the political arena. We see wrong being justified by our leadership. If we don't, you're going to reorient children from class 3 or whatever, or from age 3 or whatever, but they still see these things going on and we do squat about it. The wrong, we always find a way of justifying the wrong. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So until the orientation is great, it has to happen, but it has to happen from the top. Right must be right and wrong must be wrong. It should not depend on who you are or where you sit. Thank you very much.
Thank you too so much. Nana, the orientation revolution you have just described is the fundamental job of the Ministry of Education. Training the head, the heart, and the hands ensure the foundation that every human requires for work and adulthood is inculcated right from infancy. Everything you have just described is the work of a properly functioning Ministry of Education. If you look at our educational setup, especially the public sector and now even some private schools, you will know that our basic or primary education is failing in this context. Time management is learned in basic school. Accountability, respect, ethics are all taught in basic schools, not taught as a subject, but as values and principles. Eunice from East Legon, 0302 216 541. And you can send your WhatsApp to 0244 340 437. WhatsApp to 0244 340 437. And you can call me 0302 216 541. And Bright has called. Hello, Bright.
Hello, Nana. Good evening, Nana. Good evening, Ghana. The church.
Yes, boss.
Sometimes you catch me up and you do a good program. The program you are doing is very educative. Some of us have not been to school before, but some people like you are teaching us. And in fact, this country, we are doing the reorientation. You have to orient the whole country because the whole country is totally doomed. Most of the people don't know their left and right. They are just not Ghanaians. They are outside somewhere thinking of themselves and not thinking of others. That's why we are where we are. This orientation thing is a big thing that has to be taught everywhere. You can network it on the radio programs, not necessarily you do someone who is equally the same with your caliber like you can go on other stations. All the stations, they have to do the same program simultaneously or a synchronous manner, one program to educate us. And because this country, we are progressing in all walks of life. It's very painful. It's very, very painful. And we must change the way we think in this country. And Ghana will be fine within 72 hours. We are too awkward-minded in this country. And sometimes it pains me. And they said, I'm going mad. But I tell them by feeling. We must change this country. We must find a way to change the way we think. So Ghana will be fine for all of us within the shortest possible time. Because a lot of people are going off with doing their own things, spoiling things. And thank you.
I thank you too, my brother. I thank you too. 0302 216 541. Because, folks, in all seriousness, if we don't sit down and think differently or change the way we think, then all our fine things are just going to be on paper. Unless, of course, we're going to get a gun and then shoot everyone who breaks the rule or refuses to abide by the rule, or big, huge prisons and start imprisoning everyone who breaks the rule. It's impossible. So the majority of us should be willing to, abide by the rules, so that just a few miscreants can't be policed. Because you definitely can't police 30 million people. But John is in Dakuman. Hello, John.
Hello?
Yes, John, let me hear you.
This is not John, this is Apostle Do.
Oh, Apostle Do, let me hear you.
Thank you. God bless you. The orientation that you are talking about, it is good, but we have to orient ourselves through prayer.
Again?
Nations without prayer, without the true leaders that can lead the people to pray.
But haven't we prayed enough? We
are praying, but let me tell you something.
Yes.
Israel, that we do visit and say it's the land of holiness, a holy land. When you go there, you see that people are there in the house, they are praying all the time. They are Levites that are there, Levi. They are there. They make sure that they have to make sure Levites have to pray for the nation, for the safety of Jerusalem. And Ghana, Africa as a whole, we the believers, we don't take that mantle. We don't think about that. But the only thing we think about is to get money, get flashy cars, get big houses, and then make our children go to different places which others cannot go. This is what we are trying to rob God. But for me, I will not be part of that, because I am not from this earth. I am from heaven, and I'm going back to give an account of it. So what you are talking about, we have to orient ourselves through prayer, dedicate ourselves for the account of others that behind us, or those that we are leading. We are going to give an account about them.
Thank you very much, Osofo. Thank you so much. I wish I had time so that I could debate you a little bit. Yes, I believe in prayer, but I think we have prayed. The Israelites have prayed. They are now coming up with fantastic agricultural technology, which, we are here still praying. We have to do something. Right in Tesano is Kofi. Hello, Kofi.
Yes, Nana.
Yes, boss.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, so I'm really excited and always when I have the opportunity to listen to you. One of the issues with your proposition or your proposal for a new minister, look, from the problems we know, from VA, it can be criminals, they pass police to garbage, baller everywhere, and all the problems, we know them. Now, look at when problems continue, it becomes a nature. So, for example, they talk about Ayalolo or this bus transit. In all these other foreign places, these ministers and our politicians have been to, or you and I or whoever, they have proper road network. Then they build on that, then they have the dedicated roads. Now, because we can't do even the proper road network, we are even sort of rolling back and say, oh, well, we just need a dedicated. You just don't need a dedicated to build a nation. You need a road network and proper policing and road transport system. All right. So this is the same. I'm looking at this in the same fashion where we have all these ministers. Then you want us to add another one. We have foreign ministers. We have business development ministers. They could take one of them to do what you are doing, or a multiple of them, if you are getting my point, right? So we tend to, because it becomes a nature and a habit, that, oh, we have done corruption now, it's become normal, so let's bring another law, or let's do this other thing. We already have these people there. It's because they are not doing their job. We now thinking, or you, or some of us, thinking that, well, if we add on, we will get to our goal or objective.
Thank you very much. Let me take Comfort in La Paz. Thanks for that call. Hello, Comfort.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I talk now?
Yes, you can, please.
Yes. We have got a lot of ministries in charge of these items already. I also second the one who said Ministry of Education. We should start from there. In fact, when we go to the various schools, the surrounding alone tells us that nothing is being taught there. We should start from the schools. And then I also call on our traditional rulers to be proactive. Some time back, they will need the communal force to put up a toilet in their locality. But now they wait and invite the central government to come and put up the place for them. Meanwhile, they have not started the thing. I mean, start something. And when you invite them, say, this is where we have reached. So come and help us. Thank you.
A minister for national orientation. Well, I guess it's an entity for national orientation. So it could come from education, it could come from the NCC. With all honesty, I think the minister thing should be shut down. But somehow, folks, whether we like it or not, we must find a way in which we start this thing. The country cannot be run by chance. You can't leave the country by chance that, we need to have a plan. And if you have a plan, then we have to have people to buy in. And if people are going to buy in, they must understand what it is they are buying into. And I said once upon a time that the Japanese model was that from 0 to 10 years, they don't bother you with examinations. They don't bother you with whether you can speak English or not. But they teach you form, character, culture, respect. They teach you how to be a Japanese person. Let's go back and steal that model where from 0 to 10 years, you are taught not how are you, I'm fine, how are you, I'm fine. No, but you are taught respect, cleanliness, uprightness, timekeeping, honesty, love for humans, love for animals, preservation of culture. You are taught. Because the echo idiot. Well, so that was my opinion today. That by hook or crook, we need to have a revolution of the way we are thinking, the way we are behaving. We need to have a clear understanding for what the Ghanaian values are. When I say Ghana, what comes into mind? And we need to rubbish and throw away this hospitality thing. It doesn't wash. We have stooped too low for too long. And we have been walked over and trodden upon for too long. Stay tuned. My son is right up here. Abeku Sankofi, who was on the ones and twos, will be overdriving you. Say congratulations to the little princess, first day at school, and she comes home with the homework. First day at school, 2 years, you want homework, but she's done her homework. Well done. She's done her homework. So well done, Nami and Yunam. For doing your homework, she's colored her apple. Instead of hair coloring abodo, you see, she's coloring apple. This is where the psychology starts. Why apple? Why not alasa? Why is she not coloring alasa? Or yam or cocoa yam? Why apple? But well done, my daughter, for coloring your apple. I am doing everything I can to make sure that she grows up as a Ghanaian. But I tell you what, it's difficult. Hey, the news bulletin is up next. Beku Menu is right here with his soothing voice, Abeku Sankufi, still on the ones and twos. Don't go away. My name is Nana Sakwa, and this was my opinion today. Next Monday, we'll be back here. It is